Tonight, when you close your eyes, you are not simply turning off your body. You are initiating one of the most complex, dangerous, and vital biological processes known to science. For the next 8 hours, you will be unconscious, immobile, and entirely vulnerable to predators. Yet, you do it every single night without a second thought. Why? What could possibly be worth such a terrifying trade-off? The answer is not rest. The answer is not repair. The answer is far stranger, and it changes everything you thought you knew about your ancestors, your mind, and the very nature of consciousness itself. Imagine your great-grandfather sleeping in a cave 50,000 years ago. He is deep in the grip of slumber, his heart rate dropping, his muscles going limp. In that state, a wolf could take him with a single strike. Yet every night, his brain forces him into this defenseless coma. Evolution is ruthless. It does not tolerate waste. If sleep were not absolutely essential for survival, it would have been eliminated millions of years ago. No creature in nature takes such a risk unless the payoff is life itself. So, what is the payoff? For centuries, scientists believed sleep was merely a passive state of downtime, a time for the body to rest its worn-out joints and muscles, a time for the brain to power down like a computer going to sleep mode. But this idea is completely wrong. Sleep is not downtime. Sleep is high-voltage maintenance. It is a nightly construction project that reshapes your brain while you dream. When you enter deep sleep, your brain does not shut off. It wakes up. Neuroscientist Macon Nettergaard and her team at the University of Rochester discovered something extraordinary about what happens inside your skull at night. They found a cleaning system, a sort of sewage network that only turns on when you are asleep. It is called the glymphatic system. During the day, your brain cells are packed tightly together, busy processing information, firing signals, and creating memories. But at night, those cells actually shrink. They pull back from each other, creating more space. And into that newly opened space flows cerebrospinal fluid, rushing through your brain like a tidal wave, washing away toxic waste products that accumulated during the day. This is critical. One of the primary toxins being washed away is beta-amyloid. You may have heard of this protein. It is the same sticky plaque that builds up in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. If you do not sleep, if you do not let that nightly flood occur, your brain is literally swimming in its own metabolic garbage. It is a slow poisoning. This is why you feel foggy and slow after just one sleepless night. Your brain is drowning in waste. But the glymphatic system is only part of the story. The real magic of sleep happens in the architecture of your mind. Your brain is not a hard drive that simply records everything you see. It is a creative engine. It takes the day's events and decides what to keep and what to discard. This process is called synaptic homeostasis, a theory proposed by neuroscientists Giulio Tononi and Chiara Sirely. Their research suggests that during the day, your synapses, the connections between your brain cells, get stronger with every new piece of information you learn. Every email, every conversation, every distraction strengthens a pathway. By evening, your brain is overgrown. It is saturated. It is inefficient. During slow-wave sleep, your brain downsizes those connections. It scales back the strong, unimportant links and preserves the weak, meaningful ones. It is like pruning a garden. You cut away the weeds so the flowers can grow. Without this nightly pruning, you would be unable to learn anything new the next day because your brain would have no room for it. You would be trapped in a permanent, cluttered present. Sleep is the editor of your life story. It decides what becomes a memory and what becomes noise. This leads us to a curious fact about our prehistoric ancestors. We often think of them as primitive, but in one specific way, they were far more sophisticated than we are today. Their sleep was different. Historian Roger Eckerch, who spent years digging through historical records from diaries, medical texts, and even laws across continents, discovered that before the invention of electric light, humans did not sleep in one solid 8-hour block. They slept in 2 shifts. They would go to bed shortly after sunset, sleep for about 4 hours, then wake up for an hour or 2. During this watch, they might pray, reflect, have sex, or visit neighbors. Then they would fall back asleep for another 4-hour stretch until dawn. Why did they do this? Because the night was dangerous. Waking up periodically was a survival strategy. But more importantly, that second sleep was not empty time. It was a time of intense creativity. Many famous artists and writers throughout history, including Salvador Dali and Milton, utilized this twilight state to access deeper parts of their consciousness. The ancient world was quiet. There was no blue light from screens, no hum of electricity, no constant demand for attention. The darkness gave them space to think. Today, we have lost that space. We are the first generation in history to sleep under artificial light, surrounded by noise, and connected to a global network 24 hours a day. We are sleep-deprived, and the cost is not just feeling tired. The cost is cognitive decline. Studies have shown that people who consistently sleep less than 6 hours a night have a significantly higher risk of dementia, heart disease, and depression. Your brain is not designed for this modern world. It is designed for the rhythm of the sun and the silence of the night. When you sleep, you also process emotions. The amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear and anxiety, becomes hyperactive when you are sleep-deprived. It is like having your foot stuck on the gas pedal. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that regulates reason and logic, becomes disconnected from the amygdala. This is why you are more likely to snap at your partner, why small problems feel catastrophic, and why you feel emotionally fragile after a bad night's sleep. Sleep is the thermostat for your emotions. Without it, everything runs too hot. So the next time you lie down to sleep, do not think of it as losing time. Think of it as entering a sacred chamber. Think of the glymphatic system flushing away the toxins of the day. Think of Tononi's pruning shears cutting away the unnecessary details. Think of your ancestors lying in the dark, safe in the knowledge that their body was doing the work of survival. You are not unconscious. You are transforming. You are rebuilding yourself from the inside out, cell by cell, memory by memory. The world will wait for you. The emails will still be there in the morning. The problems will still be there. But your brain will be clean, your connections will be sharp, and your mind will be ready. Sleep is not the opposite of life. Sleep is the foundation of it. It is the forgotten third of your existence that makes the other 2/3 possible. So tonight, when you close your eyes, remember that you are not shutting down. You are waking up to a new version of yourself.